Live from New Delhi, you're watching the India Newshour, India's voice to the world. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Coming up in the next hour, Prime Minister Narendra Modi participates in Leaders Plenary at AI Impact Summit in New Delhi, says inclusive technology for everyone, India's goal. Prime Minister Modi presents Manav Vision to anchor India's human-centric AI push, invites all to design and develop in India and deliver for humanity. French President Emmanuel Macron reiterates resolve to continue shaping AI, combining innovation and responsibility with global allies including India, hails India's digital payment platform UPI. And ousted South Korean President Yoon Suk Yeol sentenced to life for imposing martial law. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed the global leaders at the India AI Impact Summit 2026 at Bharat Mandapam. The inaugural session featured addresses by French President Emmanuel Macron and United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres, along with several leading figures from the global industry and technology sectors. In his speech, PM Modi thanked all the tech leaders who participated in the India AI Impact Summit and made it a success. He welcomed all the leaders on behalf of 140 crore Indians. Prime Minister remarked that in human history, every few centuries a turning point emerges that resets the direction of civilization.
जब पत्थरों से पहली बार स्पार्क निकला, किसी ने नहीं सोचा था कि वही चिंगारी सिविलाइजेशनल की फाउंडेशन बनेगी। जब बोली को पहली बार लिपि में बदला गया, किसी ने नहीं जाना था कि रिटन नॉलेज फ्यूचर सिस्टम की बैकबोन बनेगी। जब पहली बार सिग्नल्स को वायरलेस ट्रांसमिट किया गया, किसी ने कल्पना नहीं की थी कि एक दिन पूरी दुनिया रियल टाइम में कनेक्ट होगी। साथियों, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस मानव इतिहास का ऐसा ही ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन है। आज जो हम देख रहे हैं, जो प्रिडिक्ट कर रहे हैं, वो इसके इंपैक्ट का सिर्फ प्रारंभिक संकेत है। एआई मशीनों को इंटेलिजेंट बना रही है, लेकिन उससे भी अधिक मानव सामर्थ्य को कई गुना बढ़ा रही है।
And highlighting the urgent need for global standards, Prime Minister pointed out that deepfakes and fabricated content are destabilizing open societies.
आज की एक बहुत बड़ी आवश्यकता ग्लोबल स्टैंडर्ड्स बनाने की भी है। डीपफेक्स और फैब्रिकेटेड कंटेंट ओपन सोसाइटीज में अस्थिरता ला रहे हैं। फिजिकल वर्ल्ड में हम फूड पर न्यूट्रिशन लेबल्स देखते हैं ताकि हमें पता हो कि हम क्या खा रहे हैं। ठीक उसी तरह डिजिटल वर्ल्ड में कंटेंट पर भी ऑथेंटिसिटी लेबल्स होने चाहिए ताकि लोगों को पता हो कि क्या असली है और क्या एआई से बनाया गया है। जैसे जैसे एआई ज्यादा टेक्स्ट, इमेजेस और वीडियोज बना रहा है, वैसे वैसे इंडस्ट्री में वाटरमार्किंग और क्लियर सोर्स स्टैंडर्ड्स की जरूरत बढ़ती जा रही है। इसलिए ये जरूरी है कि ये विश्वास टेक्नोलॉजी में शुरू से बिल्ट इन हो।
And post-opening session, Prime Minister Modi, along with other leaders, visited India AI Impact Expo 2026, where they witnessed India's tech talent and innovation progress. Leaders also visited various country pavilions. In post-exhibition, leaders gathered for a photo op at Bharat Mandapam. The theme of India AI Impact Summit 2026, Welfare for All, Happiness of All. It aims to position India as a leader in the field of AI and envisions a future where AI advances humanity, fosters inclusive growth and safeguards our shared planet. And PM Modi participated in leaders' plenary at India AI Impact Summit. It brings together heads of state, ministers and senior representatives from multilateral institutions to outline national and global priorities on AI, including governance, infrastructure and international cooperation. PM Modi said that this AI summit should be based on human-centric, sensible to make a global roadmap.
अतीत में टेक्नोलॉजी ने डिवीजन क्रिएट किए, लेकिन वर्तमान में एआई टेक्नोलॉजी सबके लिए सुलभ हो, सबकी पहुंच में हो, ये हमारा लक्ष्य होना चाहिए। इसलिए आज जब हम एआई के फ्यूचर पर चर्चा कर रहे हैं, तो हमें ग्लोबल साउथ की आकांक्षाओं और प्राथमिकताओं को भी एआई गवर्नेंस के केंद्र में रखना होगा।
PM Modi also gave 3 suggestions to make AI more accountable and sensible.
एक्सेलेंसी, एआई के एथिकल उपयोग के लिए मेरे 3 सुझाव हैं। फर्स्ट, डेटा सॉवरेनिटी को रिस्पेक्ट करते हुए एआई ट्रेनिंग के लिए एक डेटा फ्रेमवर्क बने। जैसे एआई में कहा जाता है, गार्बेज इन, गार्बेज आउट। अगर डेटा सुरक्षित, संतुलित, विश्वसनीय नहीं होगा, तो आउटपुट भी भरोसेमंद नहीं होगा। सेकंड, एआई प्लेटफॉर्म अपने सेफ्टी रूल्स बहुत क्लियर और ट्रांसपेरेंट रखे। हमें ब्लैक बॉक्स के बदले ग्लास बॉक्स अप्रोच चाहिए, जहां सेफ्टी रूल्स देखे और वेरीफाई किए जा सके। थर्ड, एआई रिसर्च में पेपर क्लिप प्रॉब्लम का उदाहरण दिया जाता है। अगर किसी मशीन को सिर्फ पेपर क्लिप बनाने का लक्ष्य दे दिया जाए, तो वह उसका एक काम के लिए दुनिया के सारे रिसोर्सेज को दांव पर लगाकर भी वही काम करती रहेगी। इसलिए एआई को क्लियर ह्यूमन वैल्यूज और गाइडेंस की जरूरत है।
French President Emmanuel Macron said that the future of AI will be built by those who combine innovation and responsibility, and India and France will help to shape this future together. Macron highlighted how technology has transformed everyday life for ordinary Indians. He praised India's Unified Payments Interface, UPI, saying the country has accomplished what no other nation has, creating a digital identity system that serves all 1.4 billion citizens.
10 years ago, a street vendor in Mumbai could not open a bank account. No address, no papers, no access. And today the same vendor accepts payments on his phone, instantly. Instantly, for free, from anyone in the country. And India built something that no other country in the world has built, a digital identity for 1.4 billion people.
Emmanuel Macron also said that platforms, governments and regulators should be working together to make the internet and social media a safe space for children.
One of our G7 priorities will be as well children's protection against AI and digital abuse. Our platforms, governments and regulators should be working together to make internet and social media a safe space. This is why, in France, we are embarking on a process to ban social networks for children under 15 years old.
UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres congratulated PM Modi for India's leadership in organizing the first AI summit in Global South. Addressing the summit, Antonio Guterres said that AI must benefit everyone. It can advance sustainable development goals, accelerate breakthroughs in medicines, improve access to vital public services.
AI must benefit everyone. Done right, AI can advance sustainable development goals, accelerate breakthroughs in medicine, expand learning opportunities, strengthen food security, bolster climate action and disaster preparedness, and improve access to vital public services. But it can also deepen inequality, amplify bias, and fuel harm. As AI's energy and water demands soar, data centers and supply chains must switch to clean power and shift costs to vulnerable communities.
And Google CEO Sundar Pichai said that we can't allow digital divide to be AI divide. That means investing in computing infra connectivity. He added that companies must also step building products that boost knowledge, creativity and productivity to help people achieve their dreams.
Visakhapatnam, Vizag. I remember it being a quiet and modest coastal city brimming with potential. Now in that same city, Google is establishing a full-stack AI hub, part of our $15 billion infrastructure investment in India. Today, over 3 million researchers in more than 190 countries are using it to develop malaria vaccines, fight antibiotic resistance, and much more. Last summer, for the first time, the Indian government sent AI-powered forecasts to millions of farmers, possible in part because of our neural GCM model. We're also building a vast network of subsea fiber optic cables, including 4 new systems between the US and India. As part of our America-India Connect initiative, tech companies must also step up, building products that boost knowledge, creativity, and productivity to help people achieve their dreams.
All right, for more insights, we are joined by Keshav Mulati, founder and CEO, Secure AI Solution, and we are also joined by DD India's Akshay Dongre, who's there at Bharat Mandapam. Akshay, day 4 of AI Impact Summit, a large number of people coming daily for different purposes, panel discussions, exposition, and to take part in the summit. Tell us about the unique initiatives, excitement, and curiosity. All right, we'll come back to Akshay, but Keshav, welcome to DD India. Appreciate you giving us your precious time. Prime Minister Narendra Modi unveiled Manav Vision for AI. How transformative is the Manav Vision in defining a uniquely Indian model of AI governance?
Yeah, thanks, Akshay. So as PM Narendra Modi mentioned, AI is deepening the roots into entire India. And what I noticed is AI security is not just with respect to infrastructure sovereignty. It goes beyond, because it deeply roots to the infrastructure and government, hospitals, domains in all sectors. So in a way, what Mr. Narendra Modi has mentioned, we have to secure the data, secure that AI in such a way that it protects our national resilience. Nowadays, AI issues are not related to any just technical issues. It is more related to our national resilience issues. So everything is interlinked with that personal data. If the data exists, if the data gets leaked or exfiltered, then it may impact a huge loss. For example, if it is specifically for medical or hospitals, any kind of sensitive information leaks, that it may cause severe damage. In such a way, we need to protect our systems in terms of measuring the security possible areas.
Stay with us, Keshav. I'll come back to you. Akshay, meanwhile, also joins us from Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi. Hi, Akshay. Day 4 of AI Impact Summit. Tell us about the unique initiatives and also the excitement and curiosity there.
Excitement as far as the entire of Bharat Mandapam is concerned. So in one section, the bilateral and the leaders have gathered, and right now where I am is the media's gallery here from the entire world. The media that has come to New Delhi to attend the AI Impact Summit is stationed here quite smoothly. As you can see, everything functioning right now, despite the heavy number of the press that has gathered in New Delhi. So everyone showing quite a lot of excitement, thousands of stories getting out every hour as far as the kind of initiatives that have taken place, and sort of if you look at the scale of this event, it's an unprecedented level of enthusiasm that is being seen in New Delhi as far as artificial intelligence is concerned. The initiatives that have been taken by the government of India. In fact, we saw some of the biggest names in the artificial intelligence sector gathering at the same place and on one stage that included not only the Indian players but the international players as well, including Sam Altman of OpenAI, leaders from Anthropic, leaders from Meta, leaders from almost all the known artificial intelligence industries, including the Google CEO Sundar Pichai, who was here in New Delhi, who attended today's event at Bharat Mandapam. So there is a lot of palpable excitement that is brewing all across the arena where this event is taking place. So obviously, as far as the excitement is concerned, it's substantial, and as far as the outcomes are concerned, they are also going to be in a magnificent form as far as the major work that is being discussed and launched by the government. So if you have to say it in shorter words, in lesser words, then the artificial intelligence and its in true form has been kick-started as far as India's journey in that sector is concerned. So clearly a big movement and a big event for India's AI ambitions that have gotten a renewed energy from the summit.
Also, Akshay, the summit emphasizes impact-driven AI. Tell us, what sort of indigenous AI technologies have you seen around the Global AI Expo?
Well, there are a range of artificial intelligence and indigenous ones, initiatives that have, in fact, that not only that are being discussed, but that have been put on Expo. Now, they are not only in the tech sector. If you have, if you have to go and look around in the exhibitions and expos here, each and every sector of our life, from agriculture to healthcare to education to optimization to automobile sector, and almost in every sector, artificial intelligence has a role to play in today's world. For example, when you talk about agriculture, how to utilize the resources, how to place the resources in a prioritizing manner to have the maximum amount of yield, how to solve the problems of starvation, how to solve the problems of lack of resources, especially in countries of the global south where populations are huge. The countries that have started on the development journey quite late, they have started, however, with the artificial intelligence and the sort of liberty that it provides, you can solve enormous number of problems, not only in agriculture like we were talking about, but also in healthcare. Many of the diseases that used to take several days to months to years to be diagnosed, artificial intelligence can do that in a matter of minutes. In education sector, AI can actually impart education in a democratized manner, and those initiatives have also been put on display. In entertainment sector, there are artificial intelligence firms that can make movie without a need for you to hire an actor or for that matter a crew. You just have to write the correct prompts, and the artificial intelligence will do it for you. It will generate an entire movie for you. So all of these capabilities are being demonstrated from entertainment to healthcare to education, to other kind of sectors like architecture to arts, you name it, and you have an example of an Indian startup doing something about it in terms of launching their own startup and artificial intelligence model to ease the lives of people in those sectors. So you can call it a fair of artificial intelligence. Almost every every sector has something new to offer, some new innovation taking place here at Bharat Mandapam, where excitement is an all-time high on day 4 of the AI Impact Summit.
All right, Akshay, we'll leave it at that. Thank you for your inputs from Bharat Mandapam. All right, Keshav Mulati continues to stay with us. Sorry to keep you waiting, Keshav, but we were talking about Manav AI vision. The Prime Minister also spoke about shifting AI from machine-centric to human-centric. What does that mean in practical and regulatory terms?
Yeah, so what exactly PM Narendra Modi ji was trying to explore? So the AI missions is completely out of the technical term, but now it goes beyond. AI is exploring, booming in the entire universe, not only just India, right? It's entirely global, people, planet, and processes. Now the intent is like AI is integrated to right from enterprises to public policies everywhere. So the intent where we have to collaborate startups, enterprises, as well as the policy institutes comes together and making sure this AI to be utilized in an appropriate manner, because AI is now available for each and every human. Whatever they can ask the question, nowadays ChatGPT or any kind of AI can respond you back with the appropriate information. But how we are trying to utilize that information is the key, and how we can utilize the AI to make human sustainable in terms of green energy, in terms of education, in terms of hospital, medical things, so on. Because I can just give you some kind of layman terms, like if I want to check whether this medicine is good for me or not, are there any side effects, this AI can help in multiple forms, because AI itself has different forms which AI needs to be supposed to use for the particular organization that helps to provide end-to-end response. Maybe if you use a technical term called chatbot, it is like a kind of customer representative. It responds back to you saying like, hey, I'm not a doctor, you can consult with a physician. And if you ask a large language model where it will has a brain inside multiple chatbots, and it can provide maybe this is the medicine that you can use. And if you go with the generative AI, where it adds more additional context to you saying like, hey, you can use this diet and this is the prescription summary, so on, which it provides more end-to-end generative skill. But how we are utilizing that data using AI is the key. And if you go beyond to the advanced level, like agentic AI, where it helps to book the appointment with the doctor, and it also monitors your end-to-end monthly schedules, as well as it tries to understand the anomalies that is being detected during this records, medical records and all, and it immediately send alerts to the doctors as well. That's how AI is now powerful engine.
Yeah, and AI is everywhere, Keshav. But to talk about your firm, what exactly is Secu AI Solutions doing, and how is it contributing to maybe strengthening security through AI, artificial intelligence?
Yeah, so security is the common agenda for any nation, and in fact, the cybersecurity is one of the key area. My company, Secure AI, deals with the AI for cybersecurity and cybersecurity for AI. In a way, like we are trying to protect the models, protect the code poisonings, and protect the data exfiltrations that are being used for the AI. And at the same time, we are trying to use AI for the cybersecurity to make sure the enterprises data, to make sure the public policy documents are getting properly restricted with the certain government measures like DPDP and other regulations. And we must make sure that enterprises must follow the national standards as well as governance models to ensure this entire enterprises works in a silos manner. So that's where our organization helps to protect the end-to-end from data to cloud to enterprise structures.
Curious to ask you, Keshav, I mean, India is positioning AI as a tool for empowerment of the global south. What do you think? What role can India play in capacity building and technology sharing?
Yeah, definitely, because I see a lot of youth are getting into entrepreneurship nowadays compared to back. And even what I know observed is traditional IT companies, they have a known input, like what is their input and what is the output. But now this is not the case. There is a additional AI layer comes into picture where it has additional attack surfaces happens. So definitely there is a huge gap here where AI is there, and our latest young generation definitely look into this AI. You can see obviously in the AI Expo, right? Around 200 plus startups were there where they come up with their unique ideas and exposures. The only thing which we need to focus on how we can move ahead with these startups into enterprise level to go to the global market. That is the reach here. I believe we are in the edge of the market. Definitely we will reach that level once we notice the uniqueness of the product and making sure that is interconnected to human resources as well as enterprise level structures. That's what.
Safe, yeah. And also, Keshav, safe and responsible use is also a very important aspect, given that the summit is positioning India as a key player in shaping global AI norms. According to you, what concrete steps should India advocate for international AI governance frameworks and especially for ethical and responsible use?
Yeah, I think we should follow the proper regulatory things to make sure the use of AI, be it like a startup or be it like an enterprise organization, when you are trying to utilize the data, making sure the data is using only for the particular purpose that you are using, and purpose limit as well. The purpose what you are trying to build this AI model, making sure use the for the same particular purpose. And also data minimization is the key. Make sure whatever the data is required for you to build the model or a product to utilize in the same way as well. And transparency and accountability, as Mr. Narendra Modi said, we have to make sure the AI transparency and accountability should be there. So which it means you can use AI for detect, monitor, and analyze the issues, but you cannot use AI for taking a decisions automatically, because nowadays AI is also can take automatic decisions. Instead of, you should have a human insight where human can review and making sure that things are going in the right direction. Without that, our AI may not be accuracy. Maybe we may not get the precision at that point of time.
Keshav, also before we leave you, India has grown leaps and bounds on AI in terms of progress it has made in the last year or so across all layers of the innovation. How big is the stage for people working on innovative technologies?
Yeah, I see like there are a lot of potential and opportunities available in the enterprise market, not only just the enterprise, even the government officials, wherever we are increasing the bounds. Maybe I can say earlier, people are looking for jobs like software engineers and all, but now everything is replaced with AI engineers, prompt engineers and all. So this is like a starting of this era, AI era. I believe this has a huge potential because India's AI market is somewhere close to 17 billion by 2027. And I see there are huge potential for the AI market as well as the people, resources, and GPUs that we are going to consume. That is going to be also like a huge transformation happening. And I'm looking forward to see this whole AI mission in terms of enterprises, startups, and policy institutes, how they're going to shape up in a defined structure.
All right, Keshav, very well said. Thank you for your insights and talking about AI Impact Summit. All right, still to come on this edition of DD India News Hour. US-Iran tension escalates as US President Donald Trump once again warns of military action against Iran. Peru's new acting president Jose Balcazar vows security crackdown.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the economic brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Recap of our top stories. Prime Minister Narendra Modi participates in Leaders Plenary at AI Impact Summit in New Delhi, says inclusive technology for everyone, India's goal. Prime Minister Modi presents Manav Vision to anchor India's human-centric AI push, invites all to design and develop in India and deliver for humanity. French President Macron reiterates resolve to continue shaping AI, combining innovation and responsibility with global allies including India, hails India's digital payment platform UPI. An ousted South Korean President Yoon Suk Yeol sentenced to life for imposing martial law. The White House warned on Wednesday that Iran would be wise to do a deal with the United States as President Donald Trump once again hinted at military action in a post on his Truth Social site with a U.S. military buildup underway in the West Asia. White House spokesperson Caroline Leavitt's statement came as part of a series of unveiled threats, in fact real threats from officials under U.S. President Donald Trump a day after U.S. and Iranian representatives held a second round of indirect talks this month.
I think you heard from the administration and the State Department yesterday that there was a little bit of progress made, but we're still very far apart on some issues. I believe the Iranians are expected to come back to us with some more detail in the next couple of weeks, and so the president will continue to watch how this plays out.
Iran has issued a notice to airmen that it plans rocket launches in areas across its south. Iran conducted Navy drills this week in the Hormuz Strait. The notice was issued amid heightened tensions with the U.S. as U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance said Washington was weighing whether to continue diplomatic engagement with Tehran or pursue other options. Iran and Russia will hold joint naval drills in the Sea of Oman on Thursday, days after fresh U.S.-Iran talks and new military exercises near the Strait of Hormuz. The drills in the Sea of Oman and northern Indian Ocean come as Tehran resumes Oman-mediated negotiations with Washington in Geneva. Russia's defense minister said its corvette Stoichye arrived at Iran's Bandar Abbas port earlier this week, with both sides coordinating to ensure the safety of civilian shipping. The latest maneuvers underline growing military coordination between Moscow and Tehran amid heightened regional tensions. All right, DD India's Amritpal Singh joins us to talk more on this. Hi Amritpal, the White House has issued a fresh warning to Iran while hinting at possible military action. What do you think, pressure tactics from Washington or a real possibility of escalation? What more details do you have?
Well, Abhishek, the threat of a military action exists because there is a big military buildup of the United States near Iran. It has, everything from aircraft carrier, USS Abraham Lincoln, to frigates, to destroyers, to 9 warships stationed there. So the threat is real. Whether Donald Trump is convinced that, it's now time to strike, that remains to be seen. Because there are conflicting reports on that. It could also be a pressure tactic on Iran. Iran is talking to the Russians also. Both sides are flexing muscles, so it could be shadow boxing to create pressure on Iran to withdraw or to concede. But if Iran keeps up its pressure, its stance, sticks to its stance and does not go down on give some concessions to the United States on nuclear enrichment, and even some say to its missile program, then the United States can take military action. But I think in the White House right now, that opinion, or both in the strategic circles of the U.S., they are still weighing whether it would be wise to go in for a military action at this hour, and if at all, what sort of a military action? Would it be a limited military action that we've seen in the past, we saw last year, or could it be an all-out military action? That remains to be seen.
Amritpal, also with Oman mediating the talks, what role is it playing in facilitating communication between Washington and Tehran?
Well, Oman has been trying to get both sides to talk to see that the situation does not escalate out of hand, because it would have a spillover effect in the whole region. Already, there are tensions in West Asia, and if this Iran front is opened up, then it becomes, the spillover effect and the destabilizing effect, both in the region in terms of, oil prices, etc., could escalate. Now, so that is why Oman is trying its best to see that if some kind of a middle path can be found, if Iran can concede on its enrichment program or make some concessions which the US can use to not further escalate the situation, and also if there could be promises of some kind of a halt in future, and if that road could be found, if that path could be found. So that's what Oman is trying to do, Abhishek.
All right, and before we leave you, Amritpal, what are the developments to watch out for in the coming days on both diplomatic and security fronts?
We'll have to see what role...
All right, we'll come back to Amritpal, but these are the visuals we are getting you of Prime Minister Narendra Modi in talks with the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, Sheikh Khalid bin Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, on the sidelines of India AI Impact Summit. And this meeting reflects the deepening comprehensive strategic partnership between India and the UAE, with discussions expected to focus on investments, energy cooperation, digital infrastructure, fintech and advanced technologies, including, of course, artificial intelligence. So these are the visuals that we are getting you of Prime Minister Narendra Modi in talks with the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, Sheikh Khalid bin Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. So the UAE remains one of India's key economic and strategic partner in the Gulf region. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he has been talking to the world leaders and holding bilaterals on the sidelines of India AI Impact Summit. So these are the visuals that we are getting you of Prime Minister Narendra Modi in talks with the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, Sheikh Khalid bin Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. Now Amritpal continues to stay with us. All right, we'll go back to Amritpal, but again we continue to stay on these visuals of Prime Minister Narendra Modi in talks with the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, Sheikh Khalid bin Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, and this meeting reflects the deepening comprehensive strategic partnership between India and the UAE, with discussions expected to focus on investments, energy cooperation, digital infrastructure, fintech, advanced technologies including artificial intelligence. And the UAE remains one of India's key economic and strategic partners in the Gulf region. All right, so Prime Minister Narendra Modi holding bilateral talks with different leaders, world leaders across the globe who are in India to attend the AI Impact Summit. So these are the visuals on your screen of Prime Minister Narendra Modi holding talks with the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi. All right, moving on, the two-day peace talks in Geneva between Ukraine, Russia and the United States concluded on Wednesday without a breakthrough. Officials from Moscow and Kiev said the discussions in Geneva were difficult and they could meet again. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in his nightly video address said he was dissatisfied with the latest talks held with Russian negotiators, noting sensitive political matters had not been addressed properly. He also said it was important that European representatives were present in Geneva and described holding a next round of talks later this month.
It is important that Europeans were present. France, Britain, Germany, Italy and Switzerland as the host country. We in Ukraine have always promoted the position that Europe must be a participant in the process. I would like to thank the United States of America for hearing this position.
While Russia's chief negotiator Vladimir Medinsky said that US-mediated peace talks between Russia and Ukraine in Geneva had been difficult but business-like and that a new round of talks would be held soon.
The talks lasted for 2 days. We had very long discussions yesterday in various formats. We talked about 2 hours. Talks were difficult but business-like. A new meeting will take place soon. That is all we wanted to say.
Meanwhile, White House spokeswoman Caroline Leavitt said on Wednesday the U.S. has made meaningful progress in talks this week to bring an end to conflict in Ukraine and more discussions are expected in near future.
There was another round of trilateral talks between the U.S., Russia, and Ukraine. There was meaningful progress made in both parties. Both sides agreed to update their respective leaders and to continue to work towards a peace deal together. So there will be another round of talks in the future. But I think the president views this entire situation as very unfair, not just for Russians and Ukrainians who have lost their lives, but also for the American people and the American taxpayer who were footing the bill for this war effort before President Trump put a stop to it.
New Mexico lawmakers on Monday passed legislation to launch the state's first full investigation into Jeffrey Epstein's Zorro Ranch, where he is accused of trafficking and sexually abusing girls and women. The bipartisan Truth Commission will seek testimony from survivors, ranch staff, local residents and officials who may have known about or participated in abuse at the 7,600-acre property. The $2.5 million probe has subpoena power and aims to close legal gaps that allowed Epstein to operate for decades. The investigation adds political pressure weeks after federal files revealed ties between Epstein and New Mexico politicians, including 2 former governors and an attorney general. Lawmakers planned interim findings by July and a final report by year-end. Advocates say the move addresses oversight gaps at Zorro Ranch, which federal probes had largely ignored and could support future prosecutions. And a South Korean court handed a guilty verdict and a life sentence on Thursday to former President Yoon Suk Yeol on charges of abuse of authority and masterminding an insurrection stemming from his martial law bid in December 2024. Yoon abruptly declared martial law in a televised address in December 2024, saying drastic measures were needed to root out anti-state forces. The verdict was closely watched in a deeply divided country. Supporters of former President Yoon gathered near the Seoul Central District Court. Yoon's insurrection case is the most consequential yet for the ousted leader, whose attempt to impose emergency rule triggered a national political crisis and tested the resilience of South Korea's democratic institutions. Along with President Yoon, court also sentenced ex-defense minister Kim to 30 years in prison in martial law case. Masterminding and insurrection carries a maximum sentence of death penalty or life imprisonment under South Korean law. Now, Peru's new acting president Jose Balcazar on Wednesday made tackling public insecurity his top priority after being sworn in, promising swift steps including changes at the Interior Ministry. Peru is facing a sharp rise in violent crime, with public safety ranking as citizens' biggest concern in recent years, even ahead of the economy. Lawmakers elected Balthazar as interim president before April's general elections, making him the country's 8th leader in as many years as ongoing political instability and strained ties between Congress and the executive continue to weigh on governance. All right, still to come on this edition of DD India Newshour. Meta CEO testifies at youth addiction trial defends Meta's impact on mental health. And India continue their unbeaten run at the T20 World Cup with 17 runs win against the Netherlands in the 4th match.
Can the US launch a bombing campaign against Iran? The Philippines vessel suffered structural damage. The saga of child sexual abuse is the United States China's debt trap strategy. Truth is stranger than fiction. But sometimes hard to uncover. Trust us to tell the truth, unadulterated and pure, of every story that matters to you.
That's exactly what say the door.
You read between the lines, cut the clutter, and connect the dots to get you the full picture. Watch Connecting the Dots at these times with me, only on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Meta platform CEO Mark Zuckerberg told the jury on Wednesday that Meta no longer tried to maximize the time users spend on the platform as a landmark trial of a youth social media addiction continues. Zuckerberg faced questions on his 2024 congressional statement saying Meta no longer sought to boost user time. He sought to counter internal documents from 2015 to 2022 showing time spent was a goal, including for teens. The case is among thousands of similar US lawsuits claiming social media platforms including TikTok, Snapchat and YouTube acted addictively and harmed children. This was Zuckerberg's first jury appearance, with TikTok and Snapchat settling before trial. Now, the European Central Bank, or ECB, has been led by French economist Christine Lagarde since 2019, but her term might be coming to an end before her term is officially up. Lars Holter is with DW and joins me from Berlin. Good to have you, Lars. What can you tell us about developments there?
Thanks for having me. First and foremost, they were talking about rumors. Nothing here has been confirmed, but what we're hearing sounds pretty compelling. It seems Christine Lagarde, who led the International Monetary Fund before moving to Frankfurt to become president of the European Central Bank, she might leave that position soon, even though her term would still go until October of next year. And the reason would be found in the upcoming presidential elections in France. And the idea is that with an early retirement, Lagarde would allow current and outgoing French President Macron to still play a role in nominating and voting for her successor, together with German Chancellor Friedrich Merz and other European leaders. Now, why would that be important? Because looking at these French presidential elections scheduled for April, the right-wing Rassemblement National is leading in the polls, so we might see France turning more right-wing too, after some European countries have seen the same shift already. And Lagarde would apparently leave her position early to ensure that a moderate candidate has a better chance of getting elected to lead the ECB rather than an ideologically picked right-wing candidate. By the way, the president of the French Central Bank has also announced his early retirement, and for the very same reason, to make sure his successor would still be picked by Macron and not by a potentially right-wing successor.
Also, Lars, what can you tell us about Christine Lagarde's time at the European Central Bank?
Well, generally that it was a tough time, but that Christine Lagarde got the Eurozone through rough waters and stayed a somewhat solid course. Lagarde has been president of the ECB since November 2019, and this period has been marked by massive crises. First, of course, there was the pandemic starting right after she got in, and then we saw Russia's attack on Ukraine. And then most recently, and of course still going on, we saw geopolitical tensions that have put the Eurozone under pressure. Now here we're talking about the United States, of course, and even a more aggressive rivalry between the euro and the dollar. With all these troubles, inflation in the US temporarily rose to over 10% in 2022. Has eased to 1.7% by now, and that alone shows that Lagarde has been a pretty good guardian at the Fed.
Also, Lars, who would likely follow Lagarde at the ECB? Are there any candidates out yet?
Not officially, but there are some names we've been hearing. Among them is the former Spanish central bank chief Pablo Hernández de Cos, as well as the Dutch central bank president Klaas Knot. But there are also two candidates from Germany. Again, the leader of the Bundesbank, our national central bank here, Joachim Nagel, as well as Isabel Schnabel, who is the current German delegate to the European Central Bank and who has lots of experience working not only with Christine Lagarde, but actually working the very same turf she would eventually be taking over. However, when it comes to those German candidates, we have to keep in mind that the president of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, is also German, and there are doubts that the two most powerful and most influential positions in the EU could be held by people from the same country. So despite their obvious qualifications, not everyone is convinced that a German could get elected. However, as we're getting closer to any decision there, we will see who will even be officially in the running.
All right, Lars, we'll leave it at that. Thank you for getting us the latest on that story. Sports updates now. We'll start with cricket. Defending champions India continued their unbeaten run at the T20 World Cup with 17 runs win against the Netherlands in the fourth match. Though India finished top of their group, but ahead of Super 8 clash against South Africa on Sunday, they need to address batting concerns, including the form of opener Abhishek Sharma, who fell for his third straight duck of the tournament. DD India's Suchitra has more.
India beat the Netherlands by 17 runs in the final 2020 World Cup group match in Ahmedabad as the co-host and defending champions maintained their perfect record heading into the Super 8 stage. After winning the toss and opting to bat, India posted 193 runs for the loss of 6 wickets on the back of Shivam Dube's 66 runs off 31 balls in the middle order, while Logan Van Beek finished with figure of 3 wickets. In response, the already eliminated Dutch side managed only 176 runs for the loss of 7 wickets after Varun Chakravarti picked up 3 wickets for just 14 runs, while Dube also took 2 wickets to win the Player of the Match award. But a tough test awaits the co-host on Sunday when they face South Africa. India finished top of their group but need to fix holes in their batting, including the form of opener Abhishek Sharma, who fell for his third straight duck in the tournament.
Team India continued their winning run and defeated Netherlands in their last group match. Even though the win was not as convincing as it was expected before the match. Now India will face South Africa in Ahmedabad on 22nd of February, and we can just hope that India take advantage of the experience they gained from this match. This is Suchitra reporting for DD India in Ahmedabad.
And FIFA President Gianni Infantino said all 104 matches of the 2026 World Cup will be sold out as the tournament kicks off on 11th June. Infantino said that there had been 508 million ticket requests in 4 weeks for some 7 million available tickets. He said requests during the main sales phase in January came from more than 200 countries. Infantino added that football's global governing body has kept some tickets for the last-minute sales phase that will begin in April and run until the end of the World Cup on 19th July. Infantino estimated that the 48-team World Cup in America, Canada and Mexico would bring FIFA some $11 billion or more in revenue, adding that every dollar will be reinvested in football in FIFA's 211 member countries. And Ramadan, the Muslim month of fasting, begins on Thursday with the sighting of the crescent on Wednesday night. Ramadan is observed by Muslims worldwide as a month of fasting, prayer, reflection and community. During this period, devotees fast from dawn to sunset and engage in increased spiritual activities, including special nightly prayers. Prime Minister Modi on Wednesday extended greetings to the Muslim community on the occasion of Ramadan, wishing for peace and prosperity during the holy month. In a post on X, the Prime Minister expressed hopes for togetherness in the holy month. Well, that's all we have in this edition of DD India News Hour, but do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. And we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. From all of us here in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India News Hour.